husband is saying another woman's name in his sleep and went mental when I brought it up. Now he is saying that I cannot stop him from hanging out with her, so I am kicking him out. My husband and I are both in our 30s, married for about 10 years, and have kids. When my husband is very tired, he talks in his sleep, not a lot, but a few words. Usually, it's about whatever is on his mind. When our boys were young, it was usually about feeding or bathing them. It happens less than it did back then, but it still happens about once a week. Usually, he says something about work or fishing or his car. Last night, he said another woman's name while asleep a few times. First, he just said her name and kind of laughed while asleep. Then he said, her name, let's go to bed, and then a few minutes later, something about a shower. This is a woman who lives near us, he knows her, but I don't. I've never seen them be anything but friendly. I've never seen odd behavior from him, but this has me very paranoid. I don't want to be one of those people who get mad at their partner for something that happened in their sleep. Am I being ridiculous for bringing this up with him? Update 1. I brought it up to my husband in a joking manner. He immediately got defensive and said he couldn't effing believe I was making an issue out of this. His immediate defensive reaction took me aback. I assured him I wasn't accusing him of anything. I had just wanted to bring it up since it happened and make a joke so he knew I wasn't upset. He continued to call me ridiculous, dramatic, etc., and if he expected me to stop hanging out with her because of this, I was out of my goddamn mind, and then he left. Update 2. After my husband's very defensive response after I brought it up in a lighthearted way, I began to get a little concerned, especially when he said, if you expect me to stop hanging out with her over this, you're out of your goddamn mind. Of course I never would have asked him to stop talking to her over a dream, but his response was over the top. So yesterday, I took a half day and got home from work at 4:15, when they usually hang out. My kids and my husband were not at home, despite my husband telling me he had gotten them off the bus and his Life 360 saying he was home, plus his car being in the garage. I called his phone, which went off in the bedroom, but not him, so I walked by the woman's house. She has a pool in her backyard, and from the street, I could hear the two of them, clearly, in the backyard in the pool, talking and laughing. I didn't even go into her yard. I yelled my husband's name and said, "Where are the kids?" He was silent for so long. He started to say something, but I cut him off. I think I just told him to shut the F up, and told him just to tell me where my kids were. He said they were over his mother's. I told him he had until I went to get them and get back to get his stuff out of the house. He tried to keep talking. At this point, he had come out to the street, but I honestly didn't want to hear anything he had to say. I told him I wasn't messing around. If he was still there when I came home, I would lose it. He got the point. He was gone. I asked his mom what he told her when he dropped off the kids, and she said, she told him he had to do work on the house and didn't want them around while he did it. Absolute poop. I let him tell me his side of the story on the phone later that night. He said they were just friends and that he didn't tell me how close they were because he thought I would get upset. A lie. I don't care if he has female friends or not as long as he's respectful of boundaries, which he wasn't. I don't believe anything he said. He lied about where our kids were to hang out with a friend innocently. This is all new, but I have no intentions of reconciling with him. I'll be a parent and nothing else. It feels surreal to me how all of this started. I still can't believe it's happening.